Welcome to Scrolling to Death. I have Titania Jordan of Bark Technologies here to talk about watches. And we're very excited because the brand new Bark watch is available now. I have lots of questions and lots of things to talk about regarding watches. And Titania just got hers and is setting it up right now. I have to first just say I'm so grateful that parents today, like really, truly so grateful that we have safer device options. This is so new. I feel sad about parents that just 2-3 years ago, where our only option was really an iPhone. And when we give them that full blown iPhone, there's a lot of things that they get exposed to. And we have talked a lot about why iPhones are not safe for kids and why we need to choose a safer device. So we won't go into that today. But truly, truly, parents need to choose anything else besides an iPhone, Android. There's the Bark phone, there's other kids' safe phones. But before we introduce a phone, we have the option of a watch, which I think is really cool because we can put off the decision of giving your child a phone with all this other functionality that can be added for potentially years. Like that's my plan, is just to wait as long as possible. So do you find that nowadays parents are really choosing a watch as that first device rather than any kind of phone?
They really are, in the wake of the wild success of Jonathan Haidt's book, The Anxious Generation, and movements like IRL and Look Up, and everybody just trying to help children have a true longer childhood.
Mm-hmm.
We're realizing that the less time kids spend in front of screens, stationary or mobile, the better. And if and when children need access to tech as a tool, not as a distraction, there are so many safer options than what has existed. So yes, that's a long way to say that parents are stoked that they can finally have, mobile piece of tech that they can put on their child's wrist, that gives them limited functionality, but gives parents peace of mind. You want to let your child ride their bike, but then you're worried about the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now if you can track their location and call them or text them just to let them know, or have them let you know where they are,
yeah,
feel better. And it's really cool. And you don't have to worry about, a smartphone that is bigger and could fall out of their pocket, which has happened to us when my son was younger.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really great day for parents, and it's a really exciting day at Bark. We're pretty overwhelmed with excitement.
Yeah, I'm so excited too. And I really appreciate that you guys focused on just the basics, the talk text, the location tracking, and the photo and video to capture kind of memories and things like that, but really not making it a distraction. Is that something that you would say differentiates the Bark watch from some of the competitors?
Yes, I would. I would say going with any watch that's not an Apple Watch is a better idea for your child.
Right.
And of course, at Bark, what makes us stand apart is our unique algorithm and monitoring. So we will proactively surface to you via text or email when there are issues that might arise, even from trusted contacts, right? Because good kids make bad choices, and sometimes friends can be unkind in text, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes kids, can make bad choices when they take photos or videos, but at least you'll be made aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not aware of that level of contextual monitoring that exists within tech for kids outside of our Bark phone. So Bark Watch, definitely unique, minimizes distraction, maximizes safety, and it's first of its kind.
That's interesting that you talk about, the bad things can come from trusted contacts too. I talked to a mom yesterday whose daughter, well, this is all through social media, but she has been consistently asked for nude images since she signed up for social media when she was 12. And it was always by kids that her age that she's known since she was a toddler. So that's something that when I say, your child, if they're on social media, they're going to be asked for nude images by a predator. Predators also include boys that are making bad decisions and saying things to kids, other kids, boys and girls, saying things to kids that they should not. And so that is really important. A really important feature that parents can get those alerts if it's someone even in their circle that's cyberbullying them or asking them for inappropriate imagery.
100%. And you mentioned that this happens on social media, and what the majority of parents fail to understand, not knocking them or judging them, but texting is social media.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you the ability to be social
Mm-hmm.
with media. So again, like if your child has access to a device that can send messages to people or receive messages,
Mm-hmm.
you have to consider the dangers of social media applying to that as well.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a lot of questions from parents about the watch functionality, which we'll get into in just a minute. I want to touch on discussions I've been having a lot about the balance around use of technology and letting the kid be kind of disconnected and experiencing the real world. And when we're strapping a watch on them, like that is something that they're constantly being tracked and not able to truly be independent. So how would you recommend parents, if they're going to use this amazing tool, maintain a balance of real life, kind of independent experiences, building that confidence of doing things on their own, but then also using that as a tool for safety and communication and kind of creativity around photos and videos?
It's such a great question that we all struggle with.
Yeah.
I think that if you are ever going to be in a situation where if something bad happens, you will wish that you had been using the Bark Watch, go ahead and head that off with a pass. You know what I mean? Like, you might live in a really safe neighborhood, but you go ahead and lock your doors at night because it gives you peace of mind. That said, perhaps you don't need to be constantly checking to make sure the doors are locked every 10 minutes, right? Because you'll go nuts.
Yeah.
How that applies to your kids and safety, I would say, let's say you're going to a crowded amusement park and you've got 5 kids. And you know what I mean? It might just be a good idea for someone to have the Bark Watch in case you get disconnected. If they're just riding their bike around the block, and again, really safe neighborhood, you know all the neighbors, maybe they don't have to have, but you have to make that call. It is, children absolutely need the ability to learn from their mistakes, explore without so much helicopter parenting.
Yeah.
There's absolutely a movement to more free range kids. I'm sure you and I both saw the story that Jonathan Haidt shared of a mom actually in Georgia who got arrested because her child walked like a block away.
Insane.
Completely insane. So,
yeah.
I'd say first and foremost, know your state's laws around how much freedom your child can have so you don't end up like that mom. But you have to have a balance. And, from the distraction factor, like maybe your kid doesn't need a watch at school. If they get dropped off by an adult, they're always in the presence of an adult, and then they get picked up by an adult, there probably isn't a need for them to have it,
Yeah.
But if they play sports after school and they've got to kind of, keep an eye out for when the babysitter is going to pick them up or mom or dad, it's a case by case basis. I wish I had a clear, definitive answer and a table. If then that.
Yeah,
I don't.
Everything is so individual in our experiences. I think for me, when I do introduce a watch, my oldest is 9 and I just don't feel like she needs any of that yet. But when I do introduce it, I'll just make sure to give her plenty of time without it on. Like it's not something that she wears 24/7, but when she does use it, I'll also want to make sure that just because I can get a hold of her doesn't mean that I should at every moment, because I'll need to think about the fact that she's in the real moments that she needs to be in, and the distraction of a message coming in, while it may be a small topic or what do you want for a snack when you get home, something like that, it takes her away from those real life experiences. So I think just that balance of like, just because you can contact them doesn't mean you like have a second thought about it and let them feel like they're independent while still keeping them safe.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah, we do not need to push our children into that hamster wheel of feeling like they always have to be on and respond, especially to their parents.
Right.
Earlier than they're already going to have to feel that. So it is definitely not something that they need to wear all the time. It is a tool. It's an in case of emergency, if they need to contact mom, dad, 911 trusted contacts, and vice versa. So
amazing. Okay, cool. Okay, so let me ask you a few different questions that I got from parents. First is, can my kid get served harmful content on their Bark Watch?
I would say that it's limited because there's no browsers, right? But I can't give a blanket like no harmful content,
Mhm.
because the wild card is those trusted contacts.
Yeah, right.
So if your children's friends
Mhm.
have said something mean to them in a text-based way or emoji-based way, then that is the potential harmful content they could encounter.
Yeah.
But nobody can send your kid a link to
Mm.
Pornhub, right? Like
Yeah.
they can on an Apple Watch.
Yeah. Okay. And the key is that if that harmful content or disturbing messages, if those come in, you will get an alert as the parent to your email, right?
Text or email.
Okay.
Or-
however you set it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Is there an age recommendation that you guys are going with for this BarkWatch product?
No. It's because every child is different and every family dynamic is different.
Yeah.
We try to stay away from age ranges.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. How do the photos work?
So
Let's take a look.
Camera.
Yeah.
Click on camera.
Mhm.
It's on selfie mode. Oh, hi.
Is
Well-
it two-way? So you can take it you
Yeah.
and the other way. Okay, right. Yeah.
See, yep. Okay, just took a picture of myself. That was exhilarating.
Mhm.
And so you can click on the little
To
3
toggle.
dots. It's going to go to video.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to take a video.
I'm seeing your picture.
So anyway,
That's
that's how it works.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, easy.
Um,
Do those photos and videos, are they accessible from the parent's account?
so there is not a repository where the parent goes in
Mm-hmm.
on their Bark dashboard and sees all their kids' photos and videos.
Okay.
But our analysis is scanning those photos and videos. So if a child, takes a disturbing photo or video, you're going to get an alert. So you'll know to go to their watch and
Okay,
be
sure.
like, we need to talk about this.
Yeah. Okay. Kids, like my daughter, she wants to take pictures and have them printed. So how does that process work? Like, do you just have to text the photo or video to your parent to then have the parent print it somewhere?
So I clicked share image of my half-faced nostril.
Yeah.
And so you can either Bluetooth send it or text it.
Oh, amazing. Okay. So you basically, in iPhone language, you airdrop it, you Bluetooth it.
Yes.
Okay. Oh man. We use Apple iPhones. We do as adults. Still not safe for kids. Okay. And I would just want to be very clear that because someone asked, are there games? I don't want my child to be distracted.
No, there are no games. There is no social media in terms of like apps, right? But we talked about texting being social media or browsers. None of that.
Thank you. Okay. Why should I choose the Bark Watch over the other kid safe watch options?
Ooh, I love that. I would say first and foremost, because no other entity in the space has the algorithm that we do that will alert you to harms that exist within your child's digital communications. There are so many parents that think, not my kid would never, or that would never happen to my kid. And you and I both know that that's not the case.
Right. No.
So, are there other options out there that give your children a safer ability to communicate? Absolutely. And again, like, please pick any of them over an Apple Watch. But no child-focused smartwatch out there has that built-in monitoring. Bark's algorithm that has been around since 2015. The team that built this for their own children. And what I love about it too is that if you're in our Parenting in the Tech World Facebook group, you can literally talk to our CTO, our Chief Technology Officer. He's in there. Like, you can ask him all the questions that you're asking me right now, Nikki, and he'll actually respond.
Yeah.
And you have the ability to influence product rollouts. Like, I know a lot of parents want fitness tracking. Like, he has heard you. We hear you.
Yeah.
We're going to be building even more things. And so anyway, just the ability to have that amount of access to a company of our size is really unheard of. And like, we care. Like, we truly care.
Yeah.
So anyway, a lot of great companies in this space, but nobody has our level of monitoring and track record when it comes to literally saving lives. Every single day, we are alerting parents and caregivers to children who are imminently suicidal, to predators talking to children, to disordered eating related content to bullying to, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So,
God, and that's a big thing for me, like that you have to get your kid one of these safe devices just for that pure fact. And Bark, you guys just have that algorithm that is above and beyond. And you plug the Parenting in a Tech World Facebook page. People send me screenshots of posts from that a lot because it's all the conversations that we have and I have. And if I were on Facebook, I would join, and I think I am joined. But that's one app that I cannot have. I just don't have time for. It's like one of those ones that I don't. But I encourage parents, if you're on Facebook, join that group. It's well attended and lots of conversations around everything we're dealing with. Okay, let's talk about music. So someone asked, can my child listen to music from the Bark Watch?
Not today.
Okay.
But if that's really important
like
to you,
and hint.
Yeah, I mean, if enough people are like, please, but we also want to be cognizant of battery life too. Streaming music on a watch can drain the battery life. So
right. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. And just yesterday I was asked about Spotify. Is Spotify safe for kids? And I think we've talked about the fact that there's porn on Spotify and TikTok feeds and all kinds of things that you don't want your kid accessing. So it's been really hard for parents these days to find a safe music listening, streaming service. So yeah, I love that. If you want the Bark Watch to be able to stream safe music, make that request. Okay.
Please.
This is the question that some of the Kids Safe Watch products do this and some don't. And that is listening in to what your child is doing, sort of without even alerting them. Like, I think it's like an auto answer functionality. I don't love this functionality. I'm wondering if the Bark Watch does this.
No, it does not.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this listening in without letting anyone know. I mean, if you're calling your kid and they answer, that's one thing. But then making it auto answer so you can hear what they're doing at all times, it just feels like something that we shouldn't be doing.
It's it feels like something. Not it feels like it is something that could be abused, right? And that
Great
that
point.
harkens back to our philosophy, just as a company, of not being spyware or surveillance. We're really about informing you of the things that you should know about as a parent, but not going overboard. It's why we don't give you every single thing that your child is doing all the time. You're not getting a novel of every text message that goes in and out because it's not relevant.
Yeah. And parents get those alerts and we should go further. So parents get those alerts about what your child encountered. And then also you get kind of conversation starters and more information about how to talk to your child about that issue, which is incredible because often how the hell do we talk about to our kid about they saw a nude image? I don't know.
It's not like they don't prep you for that when you give birth or adopt. They're not like, hey, by the way, in a few years, this is going to happen. Here's how you handle it.
No. No, thank you for that. Just two more questions. So so someone asked, my child already has an iPhone, but I'm struggling to manage it. Is it possible to switch it out for a Bark Watch? What does that process look like?
Yes, you can absolutely ditch the iPhone, go with the Bark Watch. If you would like for your child to keep that same phone number that is associated to the iPhone, it would just be a quick ping to our help team to port that number over. But that's it. I mean, you'll have to deal with them essentially going from driving a Ferrari to driving a Honda.
Yeah.
They're not going to love that, but so what? You've got to do what's best for your child. And I would argue that is absolutely better for your child. So
yeah, agree. Okay. So what countries is the Bark Watch available in currently?
Currently just the United States of America, but I cannot wait to be global.
I know. I get asked maybe once a week about Bark Phone. Is Bark Phone available in Canada yet? I know. They're working on it.
Yeah, we are working on it. And we do have an international wait list and we check it actually. We have a running tally of all right, this country wants the Bark Phone more than any other. So maybe we should prioritize this one. So if you're passionate about bringing it to your country, join the international wait list.
Okay. I'll include that in the episode notes for the waitlist.
Yes.
Country waitlist.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Those are all the questions that I have. Is there anything about the Bark Watch that we didn't talk about or you think is important for parents to know?
Well, hello. The most adorable box ever.
Look at the box. I feel like a salesman, but I'm serious. I really love that box.
It's so cute. Do you have a cat? that wears a hat, you now have a hat box. Sorry. I'm sorry.
There is. I think there's a book about that.
But seriously, I think just know that it's a work in progress. We've never launched a watch before. We're doing it today. And by the time you hear this, it will have been out maybe a few days, a week. I don't know. It depends. If there is something that can be better, let us know. The good news is that we can actually do that, right? This isn't going to take months and months of iteration and approvals. Like, you can literally talk to the team that is rolling out updates. So don't hesitate to let us know if it's missing anything and what you want to see in it. But our goal was to get to market quickly because we knew that kids needed this. Yeah. So thank you for all your support, and it's really exciting. And I wish I had this as an option when I was first trying to find, a safer device for my son to communicate with him without giving him everything all at once.
I know. And I'm grateful that my kids are 9 and under, and I'm not there yet, but I just got lucky in that, and there's so many parents with little babies and little toddlers that are really going above and beyond to educate themselves on these things, and they will be choosing safer devices, and society will shift toward protection rather than exposure and all the things that smartphones expose our kids to. So, Titania, thank you for taking the time to introduce the new Bark Watch, available now. All the links will be in the episode notes, and we will be back with another conversation about some hot topic next month. So thank you, Titania.
Can't wait, Nikki. You're the best.
You're the best. Thanks.